Hey guys, let's talk about Mask and Foxy and MetaMask and connections and bullshit. Hey guys, so what I want to do today really is I've had two people that I can think of directly ask, and then a couple have jumped on the tails of this one about MetaMask's new Mask coin, which is coming out. And the questions that I got were really just all about, will this affect Foxy? And the short answer is it shouldn't. It shouldn't, for several reasons of it all being owned by the same people. Why would they shoot themselves in the foot to bring out one coin to completely tear apart another one that they already own? But I understand the fear, because when you invest in something, you want to know if the new shiny thing is going to help it, hurt it, or not give a shit, right? So what I want to do today is talk a little bit about what we do know about the new Mask coin, which, to be honest, is very little bit. But what we did give, or was given, was quite specific. And we should hold on to what exactly was said and not speculate too much until we get more information. So I want to cover what we do know, what we think about Mask, maybe tie in a little bit about Linea and Foxy, because these are all going to play a factor. They're together, right? If you didn't know that, they're together. So let's just jump right on in. And again, by the end of this, if you got something from this, yeah, like my soothing voice, you get something that you find interesting from here, please do press the like button and subscribe. And this way, and regardless, let's jump right into this video. Okay, so let's do the real quick catch up in case you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about with Mask. So Joe Lubin, co-founder of Ethereum, CEO, I think founder of Consensus, into Sharplink. This dude's so deep in Ethereum is essentially what it is. He worked with Ethereum. He works with a company that does strategic reserve for Ethereum. And then Consensus, his company, is the parent company of Linea, MetaMask, and Foxy. All right, MetaMask, you probably know it's one of the largest hot wallets out there for holding crypto. All right, big name one. They have their own credit card. Awesome. Linea is a new layer 2 made by the company under Consensus. Layer 2 for Ethereum. Foxy is the meme, but it's a mascot of all those companies, right? The fox. And so that's kind of where we're caught up on things so far, right? So we have strategic reserve Ethereum made by an Ethereum dude who made a layer 2 for Ethereum, who ties in with a wallet for crypto and has a mascot called Foxy. Cool. Now let's move forward. So MetaMask has been doing a lot, not as much as Coinbase. They're a little ahead, I'll be honest, but I'm super bullish on Base. If you guys have heard me before, you know this. I'm becoming hesitantly bullish on Linea, mostly because of the backing and who designed it and what they have going on. I like what Linea is doing. Just with this point in the bull run and then being a little new, it wasn't worth my risk to jump in, but I'm following them closely, because if we have a traditional bear market, I might go full into Linea and Base. Story for a different day. But MetaMask has been busy, right? They've rolled out their own stable coin, MUSD. They built integrations across more chains than just Ethereum. They've added almost all the layer 2s. They've had Polygon. They now add a Linea, shocker, BNB. They're looking at fully coming in with Solana, and there's talks about Avalanche. Solana is really the big one that they need a direct connection with. And with all this stuff growing, they're looking at not becoming a full DEX, right? Like, they're not looking at doing a full DEX, possibly futures trading, but they want to do a lot more DeFi, which is why they brought in their own stable coin. Okay. And now when they tie in things like Linea being a layer 2, they could do even more, because they can tie in, I'm speculating now, they can tie in both DEXs from Linea and lending protocols to help make that fully realistic. And I highly assume that's the direction going to go, because that just makes sense. Keep everything in-house and build the entire chain. So again, Consensus founder Joseph Lubin, he said, and quote, "The Mask token is coming sooner than you'd expect, and it's going to be part of decentralizing aspects of the MetaMask platform." Okay. So one, if you guys have seen Mask tokens out there, it's not this one. Those are fakes. And because they're out there, I had someone ask me, hey, what about this mask token? It's already out. No, it's not. No, it's not. Know what you're getting into if you're buying it. It's not the mask behind MetaMask. But it sounds like, does not mean it is, sounds like the purpose of the mask token will be governance, rewards, and decentralization. Right? It's not a meme token. It's not going to be a reward token for MetaMask credit card. Foxy's got that. So it's not going to touch Foxy in those regards. Now, what do we know and officially confirmed, right, is there's going to be a mask token. Cool. There's no official date. Joe Lubin mentioned it in mid-September, and speculation next. I know, we just said what we know. We know that. And we said it's going to happen sooner than you think. The thought then is they're trying to push it out by the end of this year. That's aggressive, but it's possible. We know the token's purpose is going to have something to do with governance, but it could also be decentralization, ecosystem participation, meaning now it could be speculative part, gas fees. Maybe they'll use Linea for that. I don't know. Either one would be a good move for it. And I'll tell you, sidebar, I guess, real quick, is if it's used for governance, I personally will no longer be interested in buying the coin. Maybe if there's an early pre-sale with no lock-in or a mild lock-in, maybe then. But to actually hold on to it, I'm not into governance tokens for the most part. There's got to be something real juicy on the other end for that. See, MetaMask, they've already laid down groundwork. Again, they launched their own stable coin, which is live now on Ethereum and Linea. They've introduced quite a massive $30 million rewards program on Linea, rewarding MetaMask users directly through on-chain activity. And there is now speculation with some suggestions that's a lot of that's going to be used to fuel the next airdrop. Actually, I think it's been confirmed will be used to fuel the next airdrop. The speculation is the airdrop going to be Linea, Foxy, and or Mask, which leads us into what we don't know. We can rumor and speculate on, which is the first one's the airdrops. Right? Many are expecting early MetaMask and frequent MetaMask users to receive an airdrop, but MetaMask hasn't really confirmed that. But that's typically one that's standard of what helps with airdrops, and two, MetaMask has used it before. That is what got me to find Foxy in the first place, actually, was I was doing MetaMask transfers only like once or twice a week, but it was somewhat routinely. It was just because I had a passive crypto source demo for a little while, put in the car, drive around to get crypto. And I just converted that from MetaMask to my wallet every day. And I ended up getting reward Foxy. I had like 5,000 Foxy, 5,500. I don't know. I discovered the Foxy because it dropped on my MetaMask wallet. So airdrops likely coming from MetaMask activity. Also speculative of Linea activity, because at this point, Linea is live. It is moving. It's got some stuff. It needs a lot more, but it's fucking new. So there's a pretty good chance that the more activity on Linea, better chance of getting this mask airdrop too, but we don't know yet. Tokenomics. There is sources. I couldn't find where the hell these sources are from, but sources saying that up to 85% of the first listed tokenomics is going to go towards developers and ecosystem incentives, but that is completely unverified. Meaning, let's translate that into growth, right? They would put most of the initial drop of tokens, whatever number that may be, into promoting for developments, dApps, etc., and giving people a reason to hop on Linea and use the mask token. Launch date is another strong effing rumor. Analysts, again, I don't know who they are, but analysts say around a 30% chance launch before end of November in like 5 weeks. That would blow my mind. However, it also kind of depends how far they already are. If Lubin said, or since Lubin said it's going to happen sooner than we think, all of a sudden we all think it's going to happen tomorrow. They probably already have the project mostly done, or at least started into it a decent amount, right? And then there's so much rumors on integration, right? The mask token, it could do anything from tie into wallet discounts. It could do governance, meh. It could do something, any activity based on Linea, realized they could just tie that in and make it anything to do on Linea's chain as well. So to clarify, do I think the Mask token is going to take away from Linea or Foxy? No. They would not shoot themselves in the foot to help one product and decrease another one of theirs. That would make absolutely no sense to me. And these guys, they've been in blockchain tech since almost its conception. They're not going to do that. So let's talk a little bit about where some of the excitement could be. One is the massive user base, right? MetaMask has tens of millions of active wallets. Tens of millions are all, and they're all active, right? And just the network effect alone could be enormous. The ecosystem depth, right? Between wallet swaps, multi-chain bridging, this new drop of a massive stable coin, DeFi dashboards, there's so many potential uses of Mask where these uses could help bring in liquidity, keep in TVL, keep it in the system of, we'll just call it the entire Linea and Meta chain. And that's good because not only does an ecosystem want money coming in and coming out, bring money in, spend a little out to get more money come in. When they can do that flywheel effect just in their own ecosystem, money come in the ecosystem, we'll call it Linea for now, and it increases funds as it goes through, comes back in the beginning with more money and does it again, meaning money comes in, people use it to buy, sell, and trade, while other people use it for borrowing, lending for those people to buy, sell, and trade. They use it to buy tokens on the Linea system, maybe new memes, maybe new dApps that come in, which are being fueled by the money I just talked about. And then they use that to start the process over. This builds ecosystem depth and only increases the momentum that they already have, because the consensus team is clearly hinting that the launch is going to happen what they consider soon. And they have been known, they did this with Linea, of push back the date to release at a time they think is going to be better suited for the company, meaning for profits and for just better business. So if they're stating they think they're going to do it soon, they have full intention of doing it soon. We just don't know what soon is. I think end of November is a little early. I could be wrong. They might be 95% done. Wouldn't be surprised if it happens beginning of Q1. Another big thing it has is MetaMask is already one of the market leaders, right? It is the largest wallet that is not a full centralized DEX, right? The only people that beat it are decentralized exchanges. So they have the liquidity, they have the active users, they have the knowledge and know-how and backing and support that they've already done shit like this. This could be kind of exciting. And best yet, guys, it won't affect Foxy or Linea. Let me rephrase it. It won't negatively affect Foxy or Linea. Just even a little sweeter. So to wrap a few things up, yeah, MetaMask fully supports Linea Layer 2. They're tied in. What's good for one is good for the other. MetaMask's new reward program runs on Linea, and their stablecoin MUSD is already live, and it's moving. Foxy is the culture coin, or the mascot for it, built entirely on the Linea chain. And Foxy's documentation even mentions community airdrops to MetaMask and Linea users. So it would be really cool is even if they showed that maybe Foxy users are more likely to get Mask token. And that would also make sense to me, because one of the best people to promote a new product to is people who already use a product of yours. Yes, I'm also hoping that maybe I'll get a random Mask drop. That would be awesome. So guys, what are your thoughts? Do you at all give a shit that MetaMask is going to release its own coin? Do you think it's going to be in the flywheel effect of Linea, which if you didn't pick up, I clearly think that's what's going to happen. It just makes sense to me. It's a smart business move from what I can tell. And this does, assuming I'm right on that does make me more bullish on Linea in general for the long term. So it only makes me more excited for alt season to come so we can sell everything, so everything can crash. Yes, guys, I want things to crash, but I want us to profit while it crashes. That's the trick. So then I can buy a shit ton of things on Linea and Base, and for me personally, CBDCs, or the infrastructure of CBDCs. That's my long-term play with crypto. There you go. You guys didn't know what my plan was. If you've watched 5 videos, I mean, you should have, but there it is. Let me know your guys' thoughts. What do you think about MetaMask, Foxy, Linea, this whole little cyclic narrative that they have going on? Let me know. Talk about it, argue about it. It'll be fun. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Peace.